Welcome back to Hannity. Now, this week marks the 50th anniversary of President John F. Kennedy's death. And while the assassination did happen 5 decades ago, well, conspiracy theories, they still run rampant. My next guest, for example, says the real mastermind behind the murder was, in fact, another president. Joining me now to explain this is the author of The Man Who Killed Kennedy, The Case Against LBJ. Roger Stone, welcome to the program. How are you?
Sean, thanks for having me.
How is it LBJ?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to understand LBJ, the man. Lyndon Johnson was a coarse, loudmouth bully. He was epically corrupt, ruthless, vindictive, nasty, a manic depressive. As one Secret Service agent says in my book, if he hadn't been President of the United States, he would have been locked in a mental institution. And in the fall of 1963, Lyndon Johnson is staring into the abyss. He has 2 major corruption scandals, the Bobby Baker scandal. Baker's his bag man, Secretary of the U.S. Senate, and the Billy Sol Estes scandal breathing down his neck. He knows the Kennedys are going to dump him from the 1964 ticket, but more importantly, he's facing federal prosecution and jail. So in November 1963, he's an increasingly desperate man.
So, all right, so that's the backstory.
Motive.
What motive? What is the proof you think you have that would back that up? Obviously, a very strong claim.
Sure. I think there's actual evidence that would hold up in federal court. We have, in the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building, they find a 34-point match fingerprint for a man named Malcolm Mac Wallace. Mac Wallace is Lyndon Johnson's personal hitman. In the book, I tie Johnson to 8 murders in Texas prior to JFK. Murders to cover up corruption. Murders to cover up vote theft and electoral fraud. Not only that, but 6 witnesses see a man in the window of the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building just prior to the shooting. 3 witnesses describe a man who looks exactly like Malcolm Wallace. So I think fingerprint evidence and eyewitness evidence ties Lyndon Johnson irrevocably to the murder because Malcolm Wallace is his man. He has held a series of political patronage jobs arranged for him by Lyndon Johnson.
So you think he was in the book depository? You think he was there, not on the grassy knoll? And
yes, I think there are multiple shooters, but I think Malcolm Wallace is the shooter from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building, and I think Lee Harvey Oswald is exactly where he said he was, on the 2nd floor eating lunch. And I think he's a patsy, a fall guy.
All right. Appreciate it. Roger Stone. If you want to read it in detail, his new book is out in bookstores everywhere. Thanks for being with us.